Why?
Why not?
True.
Listen, if you keep throwing out voices like that, I'm not going to be able to deal with it. Anyway.
What's wrong? I'm just acting normally.
What's
All right.
wrong, weather boy?
How's it going, everyone? I am very afraid. My name is Esbiel. I'm Guildmaster of the Guild of Legends, located in the heart of the multiverse. And I feel like I missed something there. Doesn't matter. We're going to play some D&D. I've got some special guests here. Well, that goes without saying. I've got some special guests here. We've got Boopbot, we've got Nefeltanen, we've got Lady Glacier, and Galaxy Jamwitch. Calm down. We are getting ready to go into our first part of 2 parts for the Rebirth of the Jackdaw one-shot in the Elysian Twilight setting that I've made pretty much for this one-shot. Maybe it'll continue afterwards. We'll see how it goes. And just right out the gate, this one-shot is going to be using maps and map assets by Tom Cartos. It's going to be using generic character tokens by Forgotten Adventures and Heroforge made player character tokens. And the game system we're using is not your typical D&D. It's not any of those big name systems. We're actually using Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, sort of a rework of, your everyone's favorite D&D 5e. Not everyone's favorite, but it is certainly pretty high in the popularity there. I am a fan of it, and I drag these 4 into playing it, force them against their will. That's why you only see the top half of their portraits. You don't see the chains on their legs. So, all of you guys, if you want to say anything about yourselves, give some introductions. You can go ahead if you want.
Do we introduce ourselves or our characters right now?
We'll get to your characters later. So this is just for you guys.
Well, I spoke up first.
Sure did.
Hi, I am Poopbot. I am another D&D streamer, and I am a robot VTuber. I currently am running... Hold up. I'm thinking. Knife Point, Fawn Faithful. Fawn Faithful is about to end. Obscured Eyes, and Maddening March. So that's 4 campaigns, and I'm gonna start up a new one as soon as Fallen Faithful is done. So if you like D&D and a madman masochistic enough to run 4 games a week, go to have a day job, and be in college, help me. But yeah,
much.
that's me.
Fantastic. Well, Neff, you're next in order on the UI, so
Hi, I'm Neff.
top tier.
Yep,
She's a good streamer.
Nice.
Check her out. She's poggers. If you guys don't say it, I will. She's awesome.
Why would I do an intro when he'll just do it for me?
And I could say this,
and I'll say that you're such.
I could say this at the end after everyone's been introduced, but I feel like it warrants being stated here. You can find links to all of these fantastic people in the About section on my Twitter page. Twitter?
Aw.
Twitch. Why they all tease? Why can't one of these 2 websites in particular start with a different letter? Anyway.
Well, Mixer tried and failed.
That's a fair point. T is the way to go. T is the future. Lady Glacier. How about you?
Hey, okay. Hey, I am Lady Glacier. I'm a variety VTuber and streamer. Yeah, I'm totally a streamer. I totally just botched my Pokemon Nuzlocke last night, so I have no idea what I am doing. And I think Sunday I'm gonna be doing some Elden Ring. But yeah, I'm just here to have a good time. I've never played online D&D before, so I'm
It's
excited.
poggers.
Woo!
All right, that leaves one more. Galaxy Jamwich.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jammy, also known as Galaxy Jamwich. I am a space VTuber, space sandwich VTuber. We play some variety games over on my channel, and tomorrow we're gonna be doing our very long planned 24-hour stream. So be sure to stop by for that at 6 p.m. I also play D&D as well, and I'm glad to be here and be a player for once and not a DM.
I like being the DM.
There's nothing bad about being the DM, but, it's nice to have a break.
It is certainly a nice little bonus when you get to be in the player's seats. That is why I am thankful personally to be in the Sunday campaign run pretty much weekly, sometimes some breaks here and there, called Horizon Exploration, run by Dragon Durant of Yasuhiro 0088, who happens to currently be in the chat. And if anyone's curious, you can find a link to him in the About page on my Twitch as well. But anyway, this isn't a stream about introducing people, so we're going to be done with that.
Awesome.
So we're going to go ahead and jump into things here. Everyone is definitely 1,000% ready and has everything prepared and definitely didn't put
Actually,
anything
yeah.
off to the last minute. Well, I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, totally. Prepared, definitely.
We fully understand the system we're about to use. We know how the game will play out. This is gonna go flawless.
It's fantastic. It'll be great. What could go wrong?
I've used this system
Everything-
before.
Yup, everything will go totally according to plan.
I'm actually... I don't know how well it's gonna fit, but we're just gonna bring this up just real light here. Just to have something in the background. At least for anyone watching the stream, not for me, and I don't know about you four, but anyone else will pick up on some BGM because we don't have any other music to use. So, we're going to kick off this Elysian Twilight Rebirth of the Jackdaw one-shot, part 1. Elysian Twilight starts with war. Millennia ago, the world was at war. Mortal armies marched the lands, but they did not dictate this conflict. The masters of the time, the gods that walk the chosen earth, clashed and reshaped the world. In the time of the Godbreak, deities struck out at one another until only few remained. Many that were defeated were sealed away, and those fortunate to avoid that fate had little choice but to swear fealty to their superiors. Then, with so few deities roaming the earth, the time of the gods met its twilight. Now, mortal kind reigns supreme. Their kingdoms rose as the gods willfully faded into the background to merely observe. In spite of being once bound to divine servitude, many now seek to show the might of mortal kind. Innovation and magic are rampant, and at times go hand in hand. The complications of mortal life are ever diminishing as technological and magical advancements spread throughout the world. Across the lands of the chosen earth, adventurers have been sought out for their skill and renown. These adventurers have been offered a prestigious place among the ranks of the globe-spanning Guild of Legends. But first, this place must be earned, and there are other adventuring parties vying for the same opportunity. Several groups have been invited, each provided a dangerous quest and a mentor from the guild to oversee their progress. Our story begins aboard the Gilded Zephyr, a magic-fueled passenger train adorned with golden filigree. This train is reserved for those with wealth to spend on excess, those within the aristocracy, prosperous merchants, and some of the ranking members of the Guild of Legends. Upon this particular Magitech train, we find a small gathering of individuals that stand out among the passengers. Adventurers, your tickets have been paid for by your mentor-to-be, Rita Nevermore. You may have heard the name before. World-renowned adventurer turned merchant and expert in the fields of alchemy and transmutation. Now, while you may have been aboard a train before, this is certainly your first time aboard the Gilded Zephyr. Your journey has consisted of a couple of days in the luxurious passenger and lounge cars available to you. The Zephyr boasts fully stocked bars with a handful of rare and expensive potables, as well as a master chef on every trip. The passenger cars themselves provide a finer resting experience than most people ever get to have outside of a train, and leagues beyond what any other train could hope to provide. The Guild of Legends has surely paid a small fortune to ensure aspirants like you know well in advance what lies in store for those that find success in membership. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 15th of DL, near the end of summer. You're still a couple hours out from your arrival, so let's see what everyone is up to in the meantime. And let's go ahead and go in the same order we did player introductions. Bootbot, if you would go ahead and let us know about your character, give us a brief introduction, and let us know what you're doing on this incredibly luxurious train.
Should I do it in or out of character?
I will absolutely leave that choice up to you.
Alright, I'll roll a die. Odds for in, even for out. That. Okay. You will find Alan a sort of like him very spiffy dressed robot. Has a big a fancy black suit and a top hat on his head. He's sort of like pacing back and forth, a little bit anxious just because he hasn't it's probably his first time on this sort of place, and for him he's sort of like considering it a bit of a break for him. He's taken his talents, occasionally done bigger jobs and adventures, but more often than not he's masqueraded, went about the town as a like traveling performer, because people like magic tricks, right? He's not really good at it. That's why he really needs this to go well. Yeah.
Fantastic. And where do you think on this train you would be? Would you be just hanging out in one of the simpler lounge cars or typical seating, or would you be, I don't know, in the bar or in the dining car?
I feel like he would just be sort of like sitting at a window seat in like a typical lounge car, but not looking out the window at whatever view is going out. He's just like staring at the ground, sort of just looking at the floor and the feet beneath him, just sort of holding his hands together and like, okay, everything will be fine, everything will be fine, everything will be fine, okay, yes, don't know what's happening, but it'll be okay. And he's just sort of muttering to himself a little bit. He believes himself to be mostly alone, so the facade of like his charisma has sort of fallen for right now.
Sounds good. All right. So, while this automaton, this well-dressed automaton, is kind of dealing with his own thoughts, at the very least, we'll say. What is the next of these adventures up to? Neff, if you'd like to go ahead and tell us about your character.
I would love nothing more, my friend. Okay, so I am Adelisha Resmond. She is from a small, middle of bumfuck nowhere village that was under threat by a particularly vicious group of goblins for several years. At one point, they completely ransacked the village, and she led a small group of farmers, smiths, and just, general townfolk in a counterattack, and thanks to her strategy, they were able to drive back the goblins and scatter them, and they never threatened the village again. Also, she picked up a squirrel as a pet. Thank you. After that, she caught the taste for adventure, heard of the Guild of Legends, and left to go try and join them. As for where she would be on the train, she's probably in one of the lounge carriages, talking to anybody who will listen and asking an incessant amount of questions, because this is all new to her and she's very excited about it.
Fantastic. All right.
Wildly different.
Uh,
Oh shit.
so maybe not too far from where our automaton friend is seated, is this kind of talkative, devout warrior type sort.
Yeah.
Following up, Lady Glacier. Let's see what you're up to.
You're muted, by the way. I don't know if you've ever...
Lady.
I totally was muted. Okay, so I would be a blue skin tiefling. I would be dressed extremely well. Up to your imagination if I stole this or if I bought it myself. I would be probably located somewhere where I can either get free drinks or listening to someone's conversation about any sort of items or treasure that might be on the train.
Fantastic. All right. Well, you know where the talkative sorts are. Probably gonna be where the drinks are. That leaves just one last individual on this train of importance, of note. Jamie, if you'd like to let us know about your character.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, I play Floyd William. And the first time when you see him in the train car, amongst all of this fancy high-class stuff, you can instantly tell that he is definitely not made for this sort of thing. His clothes are all dusty, he very worn down. You can tell he's a person of the land. Pretty much cowboy, farmer-esque sort of person. He wields 2 sickles on each side of his belt, just hanging there. And as he looks around, he's in fact at the bar car. And he walks up to the bar, leans over, his plague Dr. Mask almost kind of getting up close and almost poking the nose of the bartender. And he says, Can I perhaps get a glass of whiskey, please? And that's my best southern accent. Please don't judge.
All right, fantastic. So let's go ahead and this sorted out here. This thing is gonna drive me nuts. I just want this window to stay full screen. Stop changing things. All right, let's go ahead and bring everyone over here. Might take a second to get situated. Kind of a long map we're dealing with here, but
Oh my gosh.
it is a train. So, two of you are situated in the bar car, well, closer to the front of the entire train, while the others are a bit further back near the rear of the train, just in front of the actual baggage car. But as Floyd, not William, Floyd is prompting the bartender here. He's probably a finely dressed human gentleman who will prepare you a drink and set it in front of you. There is no something that all of you have probably noticed is that anytime you've gotten meals or drinks or anything like that, there has been no prompting for an exchange of any kind of currency. You're just given whatever you're asked, whatever you've ordered. So, Floyd, you are given your drink. And just for fun, Roxanne, why don't you go ahead and give me... a perception check to just kind of listen in on what's around you, see if you can pick up on any cues that might tip you off to any potential loot to be had.
Okay, sure thing.
Yeah, it's just for fun. Don't even worry about it. Like,
All right.
what harm is there?
Ah, that is not a D20.
Not quite.
Ah. Wow. That would be a 4.
4. All right. So you're trying to kind of focus and listen in here. In particular, looking for anything that would tip you off to a potential payday of sorts. And there is talk around of business deals, and there is talk of property owned and exchanged, and things like that seem of value. Nothing pertaining to anything that is on the train. It seems to be wealthy folk talking about their various dealings elsewhere.
I'll be like, ugh, real estate.
Alan, you're kind of tucked away in this car near the rear, kind of more open lounge car here with nice broad windows for getting a good view, but I'm disinterested in that at the moment. You're just kind of closed off to yourself for a moment, and on a train with so few passengers as it is, you wouldn't expect to be crowded in, but it seems like people are just kind of giving you space here. As people coming into the car might start kind of moving down, looking for somewhere to sit, see you kind of muttering to yourself, and just keep moving. On the other hand, Alicia, you probably are going to pick up a few people here and there that might bend their ear. The main thing you're going to notice in these interactions is that a lot of these people seem interested in the people that stand out, being you and a handful of others that don't quite all match the well-off nature of the bulk of the passengers of the Gilded Zephyr on this particular trip.
So what? They look at me and they're like, "Ew, poor."
It's probably less "ew, poor." It's probably more like, "I wonder what's going on here."
Hmm.
And actually going to you for discussion, trying to figure out what you're all about and how you ended up here. With a clear understanding in their minds, at least, that this doesn't belong here.
You assholes, I have just as much of a right to be here as anyone.
And to you could say, to their credit, they're not like openly being like
Assholes.
Yeah, they're not openly being rude, but you are maybe just a bit keener on these things than the average person, and you're able to kind of pick up on, you know, the subtle cues here and there, reading between the lines. But all four of you would be well aware that you have been invited to an opportunity to earn a membership with the Guild of Legends. You're not being invited to join. You're being invited to basically take a test. And if you succeed, then you will be offered membership. This is a thing that is, you know, this is the usual process for the Guild of Legends. They are world-renowned and incredibly prosperous for a reason. They are very selective of who they bring in, rather than taking in just anyone who can swing a sword and probably, you know, losing half of the people that they recruit in the first week. They pick the people that show that they can handle themselves and do well. And so, because of this, all of you have been invited. You know, you are looking to meet Rita Nevermore, the mentor that would be handling your membership process, and that you are to meet Rita Nevermore in the Dragon's Hearth, a tavern and inn in the city of Rosewind, the capital of the Kingdom of Isorin. But you guys do have a few hours still. It'll probably be getting into the evening when the train arrives in the city. If there's anything further, anything you would like to try to achieve before we reach that point, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Can I ask around and see if anyone knows who Rita is?
Yeah, go ahead and...
does everyone on the train know who she is? Is it, like, general knowledge?
I would say, at a base level, you're gonna find some general recognition, as, you know, someone related to the Guild of Legends. If you wanted to give me a persuasion check, try to talk to someone who might seem to know more. And
okay, how do I actually
get that
go about
information
making it do the roll? Do I just do that?
That is exactly how you do that. All right. So with that, you start kind of going around and talking to some of these people who are already, you know, a good number of these passengers are already interested in talking to you anyway, and kind of keying in on this particular subject to try to guide the conversation in that way. You figure out that Rita Nevermore is a member of the guild who is pretty well known throughout Rosewind. The further from Rosewind you go, the more that general knowledge kind of diminishes. But within Rosewind, most people are going to know Rita Nevermore as both a merchant and as a retired member of the Guild of Legends.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh. I would just like to, are there how they've been offering like food and stuff, right?
Yeah, at the actually, let me go ahead and do a thing. Just because I'm looking at this now, and I don't think this is how I want this to look. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this.
Oh.
gives you a bit more a bit more to see, but food and drink are served near the front of the car. So if you wanted to make your way up there, I could absolutely help facilitate that.
Okay,
process.
cool. So people have been eating, right?
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
just been watching people getting food through to and fro. Okay, I'm just gonna like, you'll like suddenly hear like a buzzing, like a low rumbling sound, and I'm just gonna like stop muttering to myself, sort of look around for people next to me, and I'll kind of notice the person there, and I'll just say,
excuse me. Miss,
Hi.
I'm sorry to say, I appear to have forgotten my wallet. Would it be too much of a bother for me to borrow about 50 copper pieces or 5 silver, half a gold? It just not very. I don't need much.
Oh, sure. I've got plenty to spare. And I'm gonna give you, like, I don't know, 10 GP.
I will like hold my hand up, just take the one coin, split it in half, making it fucking useless, and eat it like a chip. And you'll just see like and like my eyes will suddenly like glow with like gold, and you'll hear like the apple bang.
I wish I was there to see this.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I am running a little low on funds, and if I don't eat money, I die. You can keep the rest.
I just kind of look over the half gold piece in my hand, and I'm like, you sure you don't want the other one?
Oh no, I couldn't. I'm not a glutton after all.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like, give it to my squirrel to chew on or something.
I'll just sort of like sit down and just like go back and like satisfied. That's all. That is it. I
Fantastic.
needed to bring that up.
I'm gonna take 1 GP out of my fucking inventory.
Incredible.
Well spent.
All right. How about our others here? Roxanne and Floyd. Is there anything either of you is looking to do before the train reaches the station?
I have my whiskey now, right?
Yeah. As soon as you order, you're served promptly, and no
Nice.
exchange of money or anything. Just you're given a drink.
All right. I'm gonna take my whiskey glass, and then gonna kind of like side eye Roxanne a little bit, and then look between her and my glass, and I'm gonna turn my full back towards her, and then as she's like staring at my back, she's just gonna see my plague mask lift up, and then Floyd take a quick swig, and then quickly put his plague mask down, and then look back towards the front. Totally inconspicuous. Totally not obvious or sus at all.
So I would scoff at this and then turn my nose up high and go like, okay then. Still slightly aggravated and upset about not hearing about any sort of treasure on the train.
Yeah. Beyond, the clear assumptions that, like, if you ran the pockets of any of these people, you might come across, a small payday, but, like, it's not going to be, like, a huge take or anything.
Not a huge take and probably too much of a hassle.
Certainly. All right. So, as you're all, one way or another, enjoying the rest of the trip or otherwise, the train will eventually come into the station. It'll reach the city of Rosewind. Slowing as it nears the city, the train will pull into the Grand Arcane Station. as the hulking chain of metal boxes and magic comes to a stop. The passengers begin getting up and kind of straightening their clothes, grabbing anything that they have carried aboard the train with them, and begin disembarking through whichever car they had been on at the time. And all of you, kind of following suit, take the cue to step out into the Grand Arcane Station. The Gilded Zephyr there just to your side as you have started coming up the platform into the station itself. And through large glass windows and open entrances to the station, you can see the city itself sprawled out around you. The city of Rosewind, a city of innovation and prestige in the heart of the kingdom of Isorin. A massive metropolis just outside the walls of this immense train station. And you know from your invitation that you're to meet Rita Nevermore at the Dragon's Hearth, where 2 weeks' accommodations have been paid for in advance for all of you. At this point, the four of you are probably realizing that not only if each of you individually hadn't put this together before or spoken with each other about this along the multiple day train ride to the city, you would be putting it together at this point that the four of you probably all received this invitation, as the four of you all kind of stand out amongst the rest of the passengers, well dressed in nice suits, dresses, and so on. That doesn't look quite right. That's slightly concerning.
I'm sorry.
Fucking spinning, oh my god.
Fantastic. Incredible. Top tier D&D master gameplay right there. Just so much spinning. Just so much.
It's just a spinning top.
The station itself is pretty actively busy. The Gilded Zephyr is the only train currently in the station, but you see there are other people sitting off to the sides or standing in the station elsewhere that seem like they were probably waiting for other trains. There are various kiosks around. These two large prominent ones. One that is manned by a handful of people that are waving newspapers around, and the other that is manned by a group of individuals that seem to be hawking various goods. Clothing for travel in different environments, some food and things like that, and other goods that might be needed on whatever journey people might be going on. You see various people in queues to get train tickets and other such things. And outside, the city is bustling.
Do we know the way to the League of the Guild of Legends? Did the letter give us a map of some
Well,
sort?
we're meeting her at a tavern, right? Do we know the way to the tavern?
Yeah, you would have some directions in your invitation to take you from the Grand Arcane Station to the Dragon's Hearth Tavern.
Alright, sick. Let's go there.
Yeah.
All right. So the four of you kind of rallying together, With the goal of finding this tavern, you set out, traveling through the city. You make your way through bustling paved streets. Horse-drawn carriages occasionally passing down the stone roads, while small tracks in the center of the main roads carry simple tram cars piloted by automatons. Sidewalks are packed on these busy streets. The workday for many has come to an end. As we move into the evening, you see people of all walks of life, men and women in nice suits heading home for the day, laborers in simple, sweat-stained garb made to withstand the strain of hard day's work. Occasional guardsmen on the street corners in fine, deep crimson uniforms with pistols on their hip and repeaters slung over a shoulder. In time, maybe a 15-minute walk from the station, you reach the Dragon's Hearth, an old establishment named for the legends of heroic warriors facing terrible dragons.
Ooh, dragon's fancy.
Let me go ahead and bring all you guys over here as well. Following the directions you were given, you find the place pretty easily, and the two-story inn stands out due to a large dragon skull mounted over the doors on the outside. You might have heard that this is one of the older buildings in the city, maintained over centuries as a place of pride and historical relevance to the city. There are larger and more grand hotels in Rosewind, but few that carry the spotless reputation of the Dragon's Hearth. Not only does this establishment have a legendary history, it is also famed for being the only carrier of the incredibly popular and very expensive imported Hidden Sword wine.
Sounds like a good place to get drunk.
Sure would be.
Hidden sword wine, huh? I must try this.
While we're on our way here, I kind of noticed that these other three are going to the same spot, and so I'm just going to be chatting them up the whole time, being like, oh my god, the Guild of Legends, right guys? It's so sick!
And I'll be like, the hidden what?
As you enter, you notice a commotion at the bar. A curious white raven sits perched upon the edge, watching all who approach. All of you, maybe not all of you, those of you with at least 10 perception, or 10 wisdom, are going to notice this white raven shifts as all of you enter and turns its attention specifically towards your group.
I'm oblivious to it.
But here you see a small crowd gathers for an opportunity to meet a famed hero. Adoring fans surround a beautiful woman of pale skin and striking blue eyes. Streaks of gray run through black hair that is tied in a loose braid draped over a bared shoulder. She's clad in the finest clothes, sporting a white feathered ruffle around the shoulders. She tends to her devoted fans with handshakes and brief greetings. Rita Nevermore is a name known throughout the city, as one of you had learned aboard the train. Proprietor of Raven's Court, Arcana and Alchemy, and retired member of the Guild of Legends. She happily thanks the crowd around her for their support, before turning her attention to the newcomers. Seems despite the large commotion and clear distraction, she is keenly able to stand up and look past the people around her at your group. She gives a slight gesture to follow, then makes her way away from her seat as her gathered crowd of fans begin dispersing back to their own seats in the tavern. And she makes her way up the stairs to the second floor. Just a slight gesture for all of you to follow. And you'll also see the raven leaves his perch and follows her up as well.
Well, guys, I think she wants us to follow her. Just a hunch.
I think I think you might be on.
I was asking to make rolls. Could I make like an insight or arcana check on the burb that was
Oh,
like
yeah.
staring at us as we came
That's a
in?
good idea.
Yeah, I would let you make your choice of those checks. Or actually, what are you trying to determine about this bird?
It sort of stared at us in a suspicious way. I'm trying to figure out, like, is it a familiar? Is it intelligent? Is it something that would I need to require like an approach for like animals to like interact with, or is it an arcane thing? Like, yeah, how much fuckery is afoot with that bird?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check to try to just kind of clear that side of things. And then we'll go from there.
That bird looks like a bird.
You're looking at it.
Strange.
Oh, so true.
Pretty spot on. It looks like a bird. Could just be a curious bird. If you would like to give me an insight check, try to get a better understanding. See if there is something more to this bird.
You don't say.
Dirty 20.
So, whether this bird is magical or otherwise, it is clearly very intelligent. Maybe it's normal for this kind of bird. Who's to say? But it is watching you with like an understanding beyond what you would assume of normal, simple animals.
Can we tell if it's a familiar?
I will sort of like go up to the bird and sort of like just say,
Hi, are you... I didn't think this through.
Alicia, if you'd like to give me an Arcana check as well to determine if it's familiar, you can absolutely do that.
I do animal handling to see if it's behaving like regular bird.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Big.
While you're doing that, Alan, the bird kind of focuses on you specifically. We're kind of winding things back a little bit here, but Alan, it kind of looks to you, cocks its head to the side, and opens its beak, and you hear, "Yeah, all right."
I just want to be sure that everything is okay. You are an interesting bird.
And Alicia, this bird, the thing that's going to stand out to you is, for a raven, the white feathers is not common. The blue eyes is not common. It is, at the very least, a very unique bird.
I see.
But otherwise, seems to be exhibiting traits, as far as you can tell, are not outrageously unusual.
All right, well,
I'm just-
let's follow the lady upstairs then.
I'm just gonna turn back to the group and just say,
I am unable to confirm if the bird is a cultist or not.
What? What do you think
All right,
the bird's a cult?
I'm pretty sure that's a normal bird.
That's a good thing to get out of the way. Right?
I'm just gonna like, you'll just see me like silently go into like what my eyes, like lenses on my eyes will sort of go incredibly wide as I go through like a Vietnam flashback.
Oh no.
God. Are you okay?
I'm totally fine. Perfectly happy.
That's awesome, man.
I'm not worried for my life at all.
That's cool.
Wow.
Listen, hey, if you ever need anyone to talk to, all right?
Are you
So
offering the support from your squirrel?
Yes, of course. He is very good at listening.
But is it a magic squirrel?
Nope, it's a squirrel I found in the woods and picked up.
The use of your squirrel is appreciated. I will let you know when I require its services.
Alright, buddy. I've made a friend.
No, your squirrel made a friend.
No! It's okay. It's a step in the right direction.
It's like those
Thank you.
people with dogs, but all they really care about is talking to the dog and not the owner.
Yeah. Alright, which way did she go?
You follow her up the stairs, down this hallway. You see doors on either side. And,
Okay, back.
and there is one open door in this hallway. And glancing in, you see a large table surrounded by chairs and
Stop trying to get in!
and rated Nevermore.
Hello.
And let's go ahead
Ow.
and let everyone know what you're all seeing here as
Damn,
you
she's not a
meet
baddie.
as you meet Rita Nevermore directly.
Love the boots.
Love
Now I
love
have to
the- love
now I
the
have to
hobbies.
try and steal them.
I'm just gonna say out loud.
Is your bird a cultist?
I wouldn't say he's a cultist. He's
Understood. Please keep me 10 feet away from him at all times.
And I'll back away.
That's amazing.
kind of raises a brow as you speak and then step back. Then looks over to the bird, says, "Omen dear, are you a cultist? Do you follow any gods even?" The raven just looks back to her. Head tilts to the side. Shifts back up. Says, "Nah."
Oh my god, your
Insight
bird
check.
talks.
Oh dear God, the bard
I'm
speaks.
inciting too.
I'm insight
Oh my
check.
God.
Immediate insight check. I'm scared.
Ooh.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, the fucking dirty 20. Dude, I'm rolling like shit tonight. Let's go.
Hold up. I think I have a... I'm also gonna use, what's the thing? Investigate, no. I had
Okay, so
something
which
else.
one of you guys know mimicry?
I'm also gonna use this on the bird. Not the lady herself, the bird. I'm sorry.
Fantastic.
That's so funny. No,
I'm
this
sorry.
bird needs to get some better fucking clothes. Let's get real. Like, that is so last century.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
So do we make a history check?
Sure. Go ahead. Let's see what happens.
15. Do I beat the password? I'm sorry. I've committed too much to the bit. I'm taking too much time. I'll hold back a little.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Don't even worry about it. Okay, so let's start off with these insight checks. Everyone seems a little suspicious all of a sudden. I don't know why. So Roxanne. Actually, let me just. Why am I looking on that screen? I'm gonna look here. Alicia, Roxanne, twinsies, got those sixes, and Floyd. You're seeing this woman, seeing the bird at her side interacting. You're having a hard time gauging exactly what's going on here. It seems her interactions with the bird seem genuine, just like anyone would be speaking to possibly a pet or another person or whatever the case might be. And trying to get a read on this bird, it's a bird. and trying to pick up on the same cues you would watch for a normal person, it doesn't quite add up entirely the same. So at the very least, what you can tell is that there is a difference in the mannerisms between bird and person. So you've got that. Now, Alan, what you're gonna
your secrets.
what you're gonna pick up on here is there is clearly a deep connection between these two beings.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like there is anything outwardly malicious between or around them. It just seems like you can pick up on that strong bond. Like, she is speaking to this bird as if it were another person.
Got it. And how does their drip look?
Oh my god.
Yo, is the bird fucking drippy? Is the bird dripped out? That's the
Yeah.
most important
What's the bird's
information.
street cred, man?
So, what I will say is that
I'm so sorry.
the bird's social standing here is astronomical, and you pick up on that not based on how it's dressed or how it's adorning itself or anything like that, so much as kind of there is something about its kind of, you could say, regal posture, way of kind of holding itself, in addition to all of the adoration that was being bestowed upon these two below. You kind of put those together, it's like, people love this bird. This bird is something special. And it goes without saying that the same can be said for Miss Rita Nevermore herself as well.
Okay. Understood.
So she kind of turns back to the rest of you, claps her hands together, and says, "Well, I see the instinct of adventurers to follow strangers without so much as a word still holds up these days." She smiles and offers a slight bow and continues, "As you might have guessed, I'm Rita Nevermore. I can only hope it was my reputation and dashing good looks that lured you in and not blind trust of strangers. Anyway, it's good to meet you. I am the one who sent all of you your invitations. Though, if I'm honest, it does feel a bit strange to introduce myself and not receive anything back."
Yeah, you're right, it is a bit strange. So anyway, about the Guild of Legends.
I'm like I believe I'm what type of fucking robot? I was
Warforged?
the service frame, so I'm like designed to be human-like and unobtrusive and good at social interactions. Not showing it, but I promise I am supposed to. And like as soon as she mentions like social conventions and like the whole being in polite society, you'd introduce each other, I'll just like immediately like cut the shit and like as if a different precept or programming speech kicks on, I'll just say,
My apologies, miss.
stepping forward before the chair again.
I am Alan Lovelace. A bit of an enigma, if I had to define myself. And I am pleased to help assist you with whatever it is you might need.
And I sort of like do a light bow and sit down, awaiting instruction.
Floyd will step up as well. He said, "Well, sorry for being rude, ma'am. Floyd William, named after my father. You can just call me Floyd." And he sits down too, kind of awkwardly.
Alright, I would curtsy and say, "Oh, my apologies. I'm Roxanne. My friends call me Roxy if I had any friends. Last name not required."
It's okay, Roxanne. I'm sure someone will call you Roxy soon.
Fucking God.
I'm sorry. It was too easy. It was
I know, it was
too
great.
easy.
I was waiting for someone to pick that up.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I love it.
And, Alicia Rosemond?
Yep, that's me.
That's the one. Oh, and,
So anyway, about this Guild of Legends thing.
Oh, right to the point. I see.
she briefly gives you a look before glancing back to the bird. Says, well, it's a pleasure to meet you all, and this is, well, go on. And the bird kind of postures towards you all, puffs out its chest, opens its beak, and you hear, Omen.
Dear God, there's demons afoot.
Oh my God, it fucking
This bird
speaks.
talks.
That's so cool. How do you get it to do that? Is it a puppet?
It's gotta be a puppet.
He's possessed.
You're a ventriloquist. I
He's
knew
possessed
it.
by demons.
That's why there was such a big crowd earlier. You were doing ventriloquism and they were all so impressed with you. That makes sense.
Sure, let's go with that.
I see.
Now,
I
Omen.
think...
And first of all, little one, you could have picked a nicer voice to say it in. That one's a bit strange. Omen is my familiar. If you're not familiar with me, I am a wizard, and this is a... Omen is a creature that I came across some time ago in my adventures when I was quite a bit younger. And he's been with me ever since. Sort of a magical being. Anyway.
So, how much for the bird? Or what do you think the bird would go for?
Well, you'd first have to find a way to break our bond, which, well, I'd wager is something that's, no offense intended, but probably above your skill sets.
I'll come back to that later.
I'm sure you will.
Can you make my squirrel talk?
No, it's that happens to be a particular quirk that Omen has ever since we met.
Darn it. Alright,
Not good
well,
enough to be a puppet.
yeah, that's unfortunate.
I
I
mean,
thought you were a good ventriloquist.
well, it's magic, not trickery. And I could awaken your squirrel, but it'd come with quite a fee.
Well, I happen to have 499 gold pesos. Is that enough?
Let's talk after you earn a little bit
Alright.
more.
We'll keep in touch. Alright. So anyway, about that Guild of Legends thing.
About that Guild of Legends thing. So, as I mentioned in the invitation, I'm looking to offer you for some spots in the Guild of Legends. You'd all, I would sure hope, know the Guild of Legends is a worldwide organization that coordinates all manner of public aid and mercenary work. Bound to no lineage, throne, or idol, the Guild stands as a means to better the lives of all mortal kinds. So, I've picked each of you after finding mention of your deeds and skills, thinking you might be a good fit. That's why I've had your train tickets, your rooms here, and the horses that'll be waiting for you outside the city all paid for. Now, before you can become accepted by the guild, though, you need to give a live example of your talents. So, I've got a quest for you.
Quest. Excellent. I accept.
Wait,
Oh,
you don't even
goody.
know what it is
I
yet.
love work.
I accept. It'll be done.
Wait a minute here.
What exactly is the nature of this job?
Well, it comes in 3 parts. Now, about 2 days' travel to the east by horse, there's a dig site operated by Gideon Palmer Excavation. Recently, they've unearthed an ancient ruin from long ago. Once it was out, it got a lot of attention. The papers, adventurers, thieves, everyone was talking about what could be in there. It wasn't long.
What can be in there?
Well, I know exactly what's in there. It's a tomb, and there is a once
leech.
powerful sword inside.
Oh, it's just a soul.
Unfortunately,
Sold. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Adventure awaits.
Whoa.
I believe that we should finish listening to the NPC dialogue.
Sorry. I don't say that. I just say I stop at I finished listening.
I
Sorry.
certainly agree, and as incredible as your eagerness is, some temperance might be called for.
I don't know what that word means.
Well, you'll just sort of. I'm just gonna say that he just spouts out the dictionary definition. I'm not gonna do it. It'd take too much time.
All right, I know what that word means.
All right, Alicia, you're so eager. How do you feel about bandits?
Bandits? What do you mean bandits? They're gonna try and attack me? I'll kill them. Nothing will stop me from completing the quest.
What if
I
the
just
quest
start
is to not
whistling.
kill the bandits?
What? Oh my god. Who's casting whole person?
My bad. My bad.
The quest is not to not kill the bandits. I was just curious to see what you might say, and I think I got a compelling answer. Now, from what I hear, these bandits
Scrolling.
these bandits took out the guards and threatened the workers to leave. Probably robbed them on the way out too. I've made a deal with Gideon Palmer Excavation myself already in regards to something they'd found in the ruin, as I mentioned, once powerful sword. Now I need someone to go and recover that item. Not only that, but Gideon Palmer Excavation would also like to have their dig site back, and there is a bounty for the bandit leader. So, as I said before, 3 parts. Your quest has 3 goals.
Bounty, you say? You have my undivided attention.
Believe me, I will tell you exactly how much is being offered in just a moment. These bandits have shown no fear of killing and stealing. The guild has been enlisted by the local constabulary in Rosewind to facilitate the bounty on the leader of these thugs. There's a reward of 40 gold to bring the leader dead, or 100 gold to bring him in alive. It's gonna hang for what he's done either way, but the constabulary likes doing things their way.
So
On
you
top
said
of
we
that-
have 3 goals. We want him alive, and the other 2 are what?
The others are Gideon Palmer Excavation is out a lot of money if they have to write off this dig site as a loss. So, being that they've put so much time and money into this already, they are looking to pay out a reward in gold to have their dig site returned to them. That means clearing out the bandits. Goes hand in hand with the bounty on the bandit leader. Thinking being if you take out the leader, it might scare the rest away. And there is no bounty on any of the underlings until they do something that earns them one. But for the time being, only the leader is being paid out for. So, for returning the dig site to Gideon Palmer Excavation, you will be paid out 300 gold.
That's worth it.
Finally, I have a particular target for you. Not killing or anything like that. I want you to recover the lost artifact from the ruin. The sword. The weapon is broken in two, and I need at least one of the parts. I'm offering 75 gold for half the blade, and 100 for the whole weapon.
What does it look like?
It looks like a typical sword of that you would have seen a few centuries ago, adorned with gold and silver filigree around the guard. As I said, it's broken in two, and there is a blue shimmer to the blade as well.
And both of these parts we can find in the dungeon? The same room, perhaps, to make it easier?
Or maybe, just so it all works out, the bandit lord will have the sword.
Even better. And then we can... 2-in-1 deal.
Oh my god.
That
three-
seems fairly convenient.
A 3-in-1. Perfect. We'll take the
You know
job.
what? I
Come on, gang! Adventure awaits! Huzzah! Let's go! I'm just gonna charge out of the fucking room. Woo!
Wait. Do you know where we're going?
I mean, they said there's horses. I assume they're gonna be in the right direction. No, I have no idea where I'm fucking
The
going.
horses will know where to go. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, of course they will.
I don't believe you are aware of how horses work.
Hey, I've worked in the fields all my life, sir. I think I know one or two things about horses.
I was not referring to you. If you would like me to correct my manner of speech so that I am aware of, so that you are aware to who I'm addressing, I will work on remembering your names. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, it's all right.
I'm sorry.
I'm not Alicia, that's Floyd, you're the robot, and that's Brox.
Robot.
You should find...
Roxanne, yes.
You should find the pieces of the sword in the main chamber of the tomb where Sir Guillidir was interred. The weapon, after his death, was laid atop his burial site. So, as far as I'm aware, it's still there. It was still there when Gideon Palmer Excavations workers were present. Unless the bandits have already taken it, then that's where you'll find it.
Wonderful. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Are there anything else we need to know? Perhaps a map or something?
Well, I do happen to have a map of the local area, and I've marked where the dig site is. In addition to that, well, if these bandits have any potent arcanists within their ranks, they might be aware of some means of tapping into the power of the sword. I don't know that they will. I wouldn't know how to do it myself, but you should be aware. Well, none of you are dragons, so it'd probably be fine.
I could
Unless they-
be dragon if I wanted to.
Well-
I understand. She just quietly turns to Alan. Alan, define Arcanist.
I will hold up. One moment.
Well,
I gotta keep up this bit.
It's a good bit.
incredible.
You know what? kind of just imagine, like, instead of him actually talking about it, it's just his mouth open and it's like a printer piece of paper comes with the actual definition.
Fax machine.
Yeah, like a fax machine.
Nah, and it puts out the fucking like 1990s router sound while I'm printing.
Fucking dial-up internet.
AOL internet.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright, thanks. Sorry, I didn't go to school.
I could tell.
Could
Wow,
I do
wow.
a
Fucking bitch. Damn.
could I do an Arcana check on like the nature of the sword? Like, is it divine or is it like a cult artifact? Like, what would that like help out at all?
Just on what she's mentioned, it might be a bit difficult. Go ahead and give me, I'd say, an Arcana or History check with disadvantage.
Sure. That's a 14.
All right. 14 is going to be enough to put some things together that she hasn't quite mentioned. That is going to... let's see, looking into kind of the Arcana side of things here. That is going to recall some of the history of this Sir Gwilidir that she has mentioned. The weapon that he wielded was of magical nature, created by a wizard long ago, with the intent to help Sir Gwilidir slay dragons. That sort of magic was used pretty widely amongst this knight's order, but it is of an arcane nature, not anything divine or anything like that.
Yeah. So
Which-
I'll just like remember from like the occasional like things I've heard here and there, some of the like probably some of the like ancient magical knowledge that was implanted in me when I was created by this fucking cult, and I'll just think and say,
because it works off of weaponized racism.
Huh.
Whoa, that's a powerful sword.
You know, in a sense, I suppose it's not... It is troubling to think about. I suppose it's more of a species sort of thing. Or possibly, I don't know, are souls
I
related to the
suppose when
species?
all of us can talk, walk, think, love, and feel, does it really matter?
When we all have families, doesn't it really matter? Everyone you kill is someone's daughter or son.
God.
Well,
That's fine. I'm exempt from this. Everything I feel is
someone made
programmed and not entirely real. So
My
I
fucking
have no problems with this. Let's go.
Let's go, gang. Come on.
I'm immune to racism because I was literally created, and not just random chance. Fuck, that's terrible.
I'm sure someone could still be racist to you if they tried.
Oh, no. yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
well, you've got the map. The horses will be waiting for you outside the gates on the eastern side of the city. Again, if you can bring me the Jackdaw back in, well, not in one piece, it's already broken, but if you can bring me back both pieces, it'll work even better for what I'm looking to do with it. So,
Don't worry. We'll do our best to bring you back your dangerous hate crime.
Let's go.
And I'll step outside of the door.
as you're leaving, she just throws in, you know, I would probably consider trying to subjugate all other types of beings to be probably worse than trying to kill one, so Maybe that's just me.
Perhaps, but everything's nuanced and people change. Unlike me. As I walk off.
So fucking good.
Fantastic.
Alright, off we go.
I'm
All right. So you guys make your way out of the Dragon's Hearth and head back out into the city. Calm down.
I'm sorry.
Ah! A giant torch! Kill it!
You head out back into the city of Rosewind, presumably making your way towards the gates on the eastern side of the city, where you were told that there would be a stable with horses ready for you. You do have these vouchers that were given to you by Rita, as well as a map of the local area. It shows in kind of vague detail the city, as well as the areas immediately surrounding it. And within that area is marked the dig site or the dig site previously owned by Gideon Palmer Excavation.
Can I just say, like, I'm sorry, I feel so bad for these horses carrying me. These horses are carrying a like it has to be like a workhorse, truly, and it's struggling. Carry on. I just wanted to mention that.
Yep. So going out through the city, you see more of what you saw previously, though. I'd say at this point, it is getting later in the day, and people are probably on the road less. You don't see quite as packed of roads, as the sun is not quite setting just yet, but it's getting there. Excuse me. There are less people on foot on the roads. There is still these tram cars that are driving, though you can see on them as well there are less passengers, but they seem to be consistently running regardless of how many people are aboard. And possibly you might even board one of these tram cars on the way over to the east side of the gate, if you so choose. But either way, it doesn't take you too terribly long to reach the gates of the city. And making your way outside the walls, there is kind of a continuation of this city on the other side as well, though not nearly as urban looking. The roads immediately outside the city, like the main road leading out, is paved for ways, but then the roads branching off are mainly just dirt paths and so on to various houses and other establishments on the outside. And amongst these, you find a large structure that is the stables you're looking for. Meeting the stable worker there, you are able to turn in these vouchers, and they will present 4 saddled riding horses for you. And with that, you are able to start setting out on your journey. As they're kind of looking at you guys, when they're getting the horses, they start getting them and then kind of looking to Alan, like leading out one horse. They seem to kind of have a second thought and lead it back into the stable and fetch a, we'll say, sturdier looking steed. Something a little bit more fit for carrying someone who might be a bit more hefty.
I may not be a war model, but I'm still super heavy.
Still a lot of steel in there.
Yeah.
All right. So, riding out of the city, there is, again, the kind of paved main road goes for a ways, but your path will have you branch off from there at a certain point onto kind of the dirt trails leading off into the east. Just for fun, let's have everyone in the party give me a survival check.
What is this? better?
I'd say
Ooh.
whoever is holding the map can have advantage. This is going to be for navigating your journey.
I have
Ah.
like the specialization of survival and wayfinding. So, how do I add an expertise to it?
Oh, we should give you the map.
That would add a D4 to your roll.
That's kind of sick.
That's kind of poggy.
I rolled like shit again because I am cursed tonight.
Ooh.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh no! Oh my fucking god! How does he do it?
I'm lucky, I guess.
God damn!
That's a natural 20. As like Alan truly just looks out into this road, looks at the map.
He does some fuck like.
I have no idea where this is. Let's go.
And just like doesn't know where the fuck he's walking, but miraculously manages to find the way because he grew up like he's truly hidden from like a cult his entire life in a city, has been afraid to leave because he's like sort of kept under the cover of being like your average service robot that serves the people and does not go outside of urban areas very often. This was truly him walking blind into the area.
Fantastic. Now, what I'm going to have you do, Alan, you mentioned the map, so I'm going to have you roll a second time, and your second result will matter. So go ahead and roll me a second survival check. You would, because you would have rolled with advantage for having the map.
I rolled in that 20.
Yeah, and that's good. That's great. But let's see what your other roll is. Just for fun.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Not,
Fantastic.
19.
not much worse.
Okay.
Dirty funny.
So this is because we're doing a group check here, but rather than doing the math and getting averages, we're just counting successes, and we're trying to get over half of the party to succeed to make this go as smoothly as possible. That's the goal.
Okay.
What I will say is a 3 and 11 don't quite cut it. So with 4 rolls, you were at 50%, which is still not quite what you're looking for. However, with that advantage, we're counting that as its own roll as well, if it works out well, and we're not counting it if it doesn't because it's advantage, so it's not going to be a bad thing regardless. So with that, you do have above average successes, which means you've succeeded on the group check. Good job, Alan.
Oh god. Woo, we're not lost.
Have luck.
Thanks for the hard carry, bro.
So with
we're here.
with Alan and Roxanne kind of leading this charge, largely Alan with the map able to point things out, Roxanne maybe being just a little bit more, I don't know, kind of picking up on where like people might travel, you know. Maybe you're the kind of person who watches like for footprints and things on occasion to see where people might be going for some reason. Who knows? I don't know your business. But either way, you're helping and it's working out. And you guys are able to keep on a path pretty well, a path that is going to do you well and keep you from being led astray in such a way that would delay your journey. So you are not losing time. You are doing pretty well here.
Meanwhile, in the back, Floyd having that 3, not paying attention, he's turning to Alicia and looks over at her squirrel. Like, does your squirrel do tricks? And he takes out like one of his little rations and offers it to the squirrel.
My squirrel knows one trick, and it's they pull on your hair really hard. That's it. That's all they can do. They don't even need food to do it. They just do it.
Lloyd slowly removes his cowboy hat and offers his head to the squirrel.
Squirrel immediately jumps at the chance. He starts ripping in your
Man,
fucking
I wish I could do that. I could take part in this.
Has fully robot, no hair.
Roxanne just looks back, go like, "What are they do?" Okay.
I'm making a friend, god damn it.
New party quest to get Alan a wig.
Everyone just wants me for my squirrel, man.
Oh,
This is rough.
incredible. All right. So as you guys are following this path, it seems to be kind of as far as you can tell, probably the most traveled path going this way. You're going to find that it's not a frequently traveled path. Like it's not like a well-worn path in the terrain or anything, but it is enough for you guys to kind of keep on course between that and the map and keeping an eye out for any landmarks and things like that. You guys are set. You do know, however, that there is a bit of a river coming up. And as you reach this river, you're going to realize that the point that you've come to in the river doesn't have a bridge. You see there are here it is.
How big is this river?
It's a big old river. I'm gonna tell you, it's about I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. It's gonna be about a 75-foot wide river.
Oh my god.
It's a big old river. It's a big old river.
So I have proficiency in animal handling with a specialty in riding. Is there any way I could try to find a safe way to get the horse across the river?
Are we gonna ford the river?
Yeah, we're gonna fjord the river and then
Fjord
die.
That's a good call.
Fjord the river and then die of dysentery.
That's a good call. For doing that, you would have your expertise and everything. That's fantastic. So you are going to have to. We're going to do another group check for this. However, if the rest of you have other ways you would like to try to participate and help in getting across this that you would like to recommend, absolutely let me know. Otherwise, you're just going to be following Adalicia's
This is over the
lead.
course of a few days, right?
Yep, the journey to the place you're going to is about a 2-day journey. And so yeah, it's not like all in one go or anything.
It's still just a D4, right? The expertise?
The expertise is still just a D4 unless you have something else that's also giving you expertise.
I see.
If you get expertise multiple times, it stacks.
Dude.
Incredible. Wow.
This was a great campaign. I'll see you guys later. I just drowned.
No, save the squirrel.
I just fucking did. Oh my god.
So,
Drowned, bro. I can't get a good roll. This is the worst. This sucks.
Well, before you jump in there, just let me just hold on to your coin purse.
No, I forgot.
I'm just gonna you'll just see my horse seem to walk on water as you begin to drown. I'm like, oh,
Dude.
wait,
This sucks.
Do you need help, friend?
Well, I was looking
It's like-
for a safe way. I didn't actually go yet, did I?
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a group check, regardless. So you've made your check, Alan.
I have the levitate spell, and I'm casting it
You
on
have
the horse.
You have the levitate spell. You cast it on the horse. That's fine. And the part that I didn't get to in the description of this river is that there are a series of slick and unstable looking stepping stones, kind of going across it. Could be kind of difficult to determine which places to step and, whether it would be safe to do so or not anyway. But what that does give you regardless is something to tread upon, which is the only thing that allows this levitate to actually work, because otherwise you would not be able to move across the river. You need something to be able to kind of guide your way. So that works out really well for you. We're going to count that as an automatic success. I will still need checks from the other two. If you would like to follow Adelicia's lead and make animal handling checks, you can do that. Otherwise, if you can think of other means to try to cross this river.
Don't actually follow my lead, though, because I am about to die.
Can I use my, if worse comes to worse and she loses her horse, can I just pick her up so that she doesn't die?
He just laughs. That's good.
Well,
That's a good.
We'll see how it goes.
That's a good sign. That's good.
I mean, regardless, worst case scenario, you die, I let go, and I'm fine.
So, what are...
Oh, I have Mage Hand. Easy.
What are the other two doing?
I mean, I can't acrobat with the horse, so that's out of...
These dice are just bullying me.
Yeah, if you want to take the horse along, which ideally you'd probably want to. Yeah, acrobatics would be a bit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw the horse and jump after it.
I intimidate the horse to make it go on the river. I don't know. Stealth also doesn't do a whole lot for me here either.
If you hide from the horse, it'll wander across looking for you.
It's maybe not the best plan, but if you wanted to try intimidation, there could be something to that. If you can be scarier than the river to the horse, then...
It would frantically run across and somehow get to the other side while mine dies trying.
it could potentially panic its way to success. If you want to do that, but...
The ring... God. How many... No, I can't reach that. I was thinking maybe I could get across the river, burn a use of... Why do I have 20 spell slots? That's not true.
It seems
Can we check
true.
the map?
Hold up.
Can we check the map to see if there is a bridge somewhere?
There were rocks, weren't there? Like stepping rocks?
Yeah, there are rocks here. I'm assuming you mean checking to see if there's a bridge elsewhere along the river. You know what? We're gonna kind of tie that into this if you want to do that. And I think for that I would have you do a survival check. If you wanted to go that route, trying to find an alternate route effectively.
I got a -1 in both animal handling and survival. So, both a bad option.
I would love to cast Levitate on other people, but I think I need to touch... No, it has a range of 60 feet. And I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that'd be a bit
just out of
far.
range.
Okay, I say
Unless-
finding another route would probably be safer.
Unless I make it across and you guys try and make it like halfway through, I can get one of you free if you try and ford through. And that's actually probably what I'll end up doing for NAF. I'm gonna just get it halfway across, realize,
Oh, friend, you are you and your horse are dying.
and like she's like partway through the river. Can I get her with Levitate? In that regard? If I end concentration on mine and I'm on the other side? That's all my second level spell slots. That's the only use I have, last use I'd have of it.
Yeah, I'd say what you can do from that is you can kind of try to counteract as much as possible the negatives of her failing or potentially the group failing this
Okay.
check. So we'll hold
Now-
on to that while we figure out the other two.
Mhm. I don't
Uh,
want F to die. That'd be kind of cringe.
Floyd, did you have anything you had in mind here for getting across?
Hi. I was thinking of just fjording the river, but I was wondering if I could just try to guide the horse and take a risk on those slippery rocks around. Like the rocks are big enough for the horse to like walk across, or is it just I have to leave the horse behind and go on my own?
Yeah, it looks like pretty hefty looking stones in the river.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just try to guide my horse on those rocks and hopefully not fall in the water.
All right. Unless you had something else in mind for this, I'm gonna have you give me an animal handling check then.
Okay, nice. Thankfully, my life on the farm.
Dude, I thought my life on the farm, but it fucked me.
Ah, no one knows horses better than Floyd.
All right. Floyd, that's looking good. So that's two of you succeeded, one of you failed, and one of you yet to attempt.
Well, I guess I will follow Floyd on the rock.
All right, go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
Oh my god.
Ooh, we hate to
no.
see it.
Is there a way I could help Roxanne from where I am?
I love how
Maybe.
none of us are calling her Roxy.
I love that for her too.
Like, maybe whistle at the horse and try to get it to pay attention and not slip or something?
Let's see here.
I intimidate the horse to do better.
You know what? Floyd, if you want to expend a use of your intrepid feature, I would let you bestow that benefit to someone else.
You know what? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
So you can give expertise to one of these rolls. And they're both 7.
I mean, yeah. Well, is there a coin flip I can do for either?
Slash
Actually,
R1D2.
So for Roxanne, it would be giving a D4. For Adelicia, what I would do is I would say you can roll a D6 in place of your D4 result, if you were to get it.
Honestly,
So-
I'm not sure how I could help Adelicia because they're already in the water, you know?
I
So,
I can
Like, it was
do
going
my
well.
best with
Well,
the mage hand.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's less of a direct sequence of events, more of, you know, that's why it's a group check in this circumstances. You're kind
I'm
of
not one, bro. The
going
horse
about
was-
this here.
The horse slipped and I'm just dead now.
Hey, don't worry.
So-
I'm gonna cast some mage hand on you.
Alright,
Sorry,
yeah.
levitate and then mage hand and pull you forward.
okay, yeah. So,
Alright.
Adelicia's covered. Yeah. Well, I'll give my expertise to Roxanne then.
All right, so Roxanne, if you want to roll a D4 and add that to your result.
Alright, for animal handling.
Yep.
Alright.
But on the...
Isn't there a song like that that goes like Roxanne?
Yeah, by the police.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So what we were doing is we weren't re-rolling the whole check. We were just adding the D4 to it. But
Okay.
that 3 brings you up to a 10, which is going to be just enough to succeed this, because this is the path that this company has chosen to use, and through their use, it has been made a reasonably stable path. The rocks don't tumble away under your feet or anything. And with Floyd's guidance, kind of helping guide your horse, between the two of you, you are able to kind of help get the group across, and with exactly. I just looked at the chat. With that levitation kind of waiting in the wings, because Alan is able to kind of get across a lot quicker than the rest of you, because it was literally just basically walking across rather than being careful and making sure the horses can step properly and all that. You are able to get off that spell to help Adelicia out of a rough situation. So, you are going to cross safely. There is nothing lost to the river, except maybe a bit of pride, but that's not for me to decide. That's that's on you.
Wow. You look like you could use some horse riding lessons, friend.
Oh my god.
Have you considered using magic?
Oh my god.
As I hold her floating by a mage hand.
Bruh.
As I just like have her just like playing around like
my pride is
like a
damaged,
paper.
but not my enthusiasm. Let's go. We got a quest to complete.
So,
if you know how, sorry, if you know how
God.
like kids play with paper airplane, like toy airplanes, that, but with a mage hand and a live horse and a person on it.
Oh my god.
all right. So with that out of the way, you guys have one other thing to consider as you're continuing along your way here. It is getting to a point where you're starting to feel the wear of your journey set in, and you get the thought that it might be a good time for those of you who do feel, physical exhaustion and such. I don't know if all of you do. I haven't looked into all your details yet, but you're starting to get tired. You think this might be the time to find a place to set up camp. And you can easily enough do that. You can find a spot off the trail. And there's not so much. You're kind of in open terrain here, so there's not so much in like finding the best spot to camp as much as just picking one part of open field as opposed to another. So you get your space, you kind of rein in your horses, you set up camp to whatever ends you guys have available to you to do so, and with that, you will be able to get your night's rest, recover anything that you might have expended in regards to spells and such throughout the day. And we're going to call this to an end with you guys setting up camp. And we'll continue part 2 next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, next
Okay.
week, same time, or possibly an hour earlier like we had originally planned.
Sorry, I
No
should be able
worries.
to come in an hour earlier. It was mostly me, because I had a university orientation that I had to go to. And then if I didn't go today, I would have to take classes in another semester.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is cool though.
totally.
I
Oh
like
god,
this.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hate
This is
that.
fun.
I am surprised.
Thank you for letting me play a shit post of a character.
Well, here's
I
the
love it,
thing.
though.
It went along really well with how I had the kind of the pacing planned out, so it works out. But yeah, if you guys want to talk a little bit more about it off stream, we can. I don't want to completely divulge everything out into the open just yet, but we've still got part 2 to do, so don't want to open up everything to the stream just yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and call this quits for the night. Again, we're looking to do part 2 next week, next Friday, just an hour earlier than we started tonight. That would be 7 o'clock Central. In addition to that, as I mentioned, I'm sure you guys had plenty of opportunity to see the variety of maps that I was using. I've talked to a handful of people already in various groups that I'm in and such about this particular map maker. I am a huge fan, and I'm glad that I have the ability to use their maps. And there are also other assets that we're using in this little one shot. You can find those all in my about page on Twitch. You can also find links to all the people that I'm running here with at the top of my collabs list in Twitch as well. So go ahead and check those people out. Give them a follow, give them a subscribe, give them all your money, or as much as you can afford. Be responsible. Don't be me.
If I don't eat money, I die.
That's true. Fallon doesn't eat half your gold coins. He will die. All right.
I love that bit. I'm sorry.
All good. With that, everyone, have a good one.